Alrighty, welcome everyone. It is kind of an exciting time because a poll has ended. We've been polling for the last couple of weeks. Those of you who are patrons, you already know about this, but we've been polling for the last couple of weeks for a new show to replace Sangatsu no Lion, which is a big pair of shoes to fill, considering it's one of the first shows that started on the series and has been one of the most popular, and the fan base for it has been one of the most awesome that I've had of any show that I've done thus far on the channel. So I wanted to replace it with something that could come somewhere close to being just as awesome as Sangatsu was. It was a true experience, and those of you who joined me for it, thank you very much. It was really lovely to get to watch it and share my thoughts on it with all of you. So, we pulled for a while for a new show, and for the last week and a half or so, it has been pretty much neck and neck between two shows, between Chihayafuru, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Natsume Yujincho. It's been back and forth, neck and neck, but for the past week or so, Chihayafuru has maintained a 2-4 vote lead, and today, as we crossed over noon or so on Sunday, and the time started to tick down, and I was like, all right, I gotta close the poll. Chihayafuru is still in the lead, and so that is what we are going to be watching. Those of you who voted for Natsume Yujincho, I'm sorry, it's not going to get its chance right now, but it will get another chance at some point in some other poll. Don't sweat, we'll probably get to it soon enough, so don't worry. It's not like we're never ever gonna watch it or anything like that. It's clear that there are a lot of people who want that show too, so I understand, I hear you. But the votes have spoken, and I must follow majority rule, and in this case, that is for Chihayafuru. So, as usual, I did a little bit of research on this show just to check out, make sure that I know what I want to know about it. So this was a fall 2011 Madhouse show, which I would consider something like the prime time of New Century Madhouse. This aired right alongside Hunter x Hunter 2011. I believe that they started airing within the same week, actually. It aired just before Batum and Death Billiards, and just after High School of the Dead, Tatami Galaxy, and Season 2 of Kaiji Ultimate Survivor. So that gives you a pretty good idea of the kind and caliber of shows that Madhouse was working on at this time, which is pretty damn high, pretty high caliber shows, which is great. And this show in particular is directed by the famous Morio Asaka, who directed Cardcaptor Sakura, Chobits, Nana, Ore Monogatari, Gunslinger Girl, and much, much more, so sweet. And the main character is voiced by Asami Seto, who has become well known in the past couple of seasons for voicing some waifus, voicing Mai Sakurajima and Raphtalia in the past couple of seasons. So, pretty stacked cast, pretty stacked group of staff working on this show, and working on it in pretty primetime Madhouse before a lot of the shakeups in Madhouse happened, and in my opinion, they started really dropping off in quality. But that's just been over the last couple of years, and before that, there is a wealth of glorious top-tier Golden Age Madhouse content, so that's what this is gonna be. What do I know about Chihayafuru in terms of story and plot and stuff? I have seen the ProZD sketch that's about this. That's all I know. I know that there's a game called Karuta, which has to do with memorizing poems, I think. I think they're like short poems on cards, and it's a memory matching type of game. Beyond that, I really don't know. I also know that there's a female protagonist, I think. See, I don't even know that for sure. Well, I guess I do, because Morio Asaka is, or Morio Asaka's first build. No, Asami Seto is first build, so should be a female main character. Beyond that, I got nothing. I'm interested in learning about an interesting competitive game. I'm interested in seeing whether this is more character driven, and in the way that Sangatsu is more about people who happen to play this game than it is about the game and the people who play it. I'm wondering which camp this will fall into, or maybe both, or whether it'll be like, is it focused on competing in the game and the competition itself and tournaments and stuff? That was a sniz. I'm going to take a second and write down the timestamp for that. 9:50-ish sneeze. So I can edit it out or edit it funny. We'll see. Yeah, I'm interested to see whether this will be more focused on the competition and like gameplay itself, or the stuff that's incidental to that and adjacent to it in the characters' lives and how they're affected by playing the game. I don't know. No idea, but a lot of people seem to think that I'm going to enjoy this show. A lot of people want to see some reactions to it, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch some Chihayafuru. This first episode will probably be just the first episode. I should have said this first reaction. This first reaction will probably be just the first episode. I'll probably have more to talk about in the first episode than in future episodes, so it'll probably be a little bit longer in terms of discussion. And we'll go from there and see. If I feel like I really need to watch the second episode in this first video, then maybe we'll do that. But this will probably be the first episode, and then we'll probably be doing 2 to 3 episodes in the future per video. But we'll see. Sundays are kind of tough sometimes because I've got generally 2 shows going on Sundays, and I generally like to watch more than 1 episode of each show that I watch on Sundays. So in this case, I'm currently watching Hibike Euphonium on Sundays, and now that will be paired with Chihayafuru. So I like watching 2 episodes of Hibike. We'll see how Chihayafuru is paced and whether I feel like watching 2 most of the time. Basically, we'll just play it by ear. I'll watch as many episodes as I feel like I want to watch and talk about, until I feel like I'm faded and not giving as much, you know? If I feel like my mental state is not hitting the bar, then I'm not going to create content, because I think quality is more important than quantity, which is weird to say given the sheer amount of quantity of content that I put out. But I do put a premium on quality and, you know, talking about things that matter and saying stuff that's not ridiculously dumb. Anyway, I'm blathering at this point. I think I'm just stalling, so let's stop doing that and let's watch episode 1 of Chihayafuru. So I downloaded the Kami subs because that seemed like the way to go, just from what I saw on Nya. If you've got a preference for a different sub provider, let me know and we'll figure it out. But for now, this first episode, we're going to start with Kami subs. Okay? Okay. So, Kami subs, Chihayafuru, episode 1. Let's get into it. I'll do a full blurb just so people starting a new series understand what's going on. There will be multiple versions of this reaction video. You can find picture-in-picture versions with the video up there in the corner, down there in the description. Time-based version will be on YouTube. It will have discussion at the end of each episode, of whatever I want to talk about for however long I want to talk about it. And at the beginning of each episode, there will be a beep beep timer, which is mechanical so that it's like frame accurate and it's not just me counting it down for you. It'll go boop, 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 beep, and yet red, yellow, yellow, green on the green light, and the beep is the exact same frame that Chihayafuru starts playing on my screen, so if you're playing along on your screen, that's probably when you want to hit the button. And, yeah, we're ready to go, so that beep beep timer will go right here. Okay, poetry right off the bat. Okay, spring. Although this was a fall anime. I assume that's her. Hmm. Super cute. Damn. Practicality. Oh. But. All right. Much younger kids. Ooh, those patterns. Almost Shaft-esque. Okay. Now the flower blooms. Poem 1. Okay. Insta head desks. Hmm. Hmm. But it's so niche, right? That the likelihood of finding another player in your school is pretty low. He. So maybe boy with blue eyes from the OP? Wow. Hello, boy. Ugh, that's rough. Ah. Hmm. Aw. Aw, she's so happy. Doesn't seem to be. Girlfriend? Hmm. My thought too. Hmm. 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 Was that the he? Hmm. So she's the only one who ended up serious about it. Hmm. I wonder how often she'll put her own life into perspective using the Karuta poems. Whether that will become a running thing. Ah, flash to the past. That's the boy? Yeah. Will we meet this Arata? Oh. Oh, there he is. Hello. Fuck. God, kids suck sometimes. That's kind of fucked up. Damn straight. Yeah, yeah, right. Without even realizing it, just cut straight to the heart. Perfect memory? Eidetic? Eidetic? Dope. Mmm. Hello. Hmm. Hmm. That's why she was waiting for it. That makes perfect sense. Hey. Oh. Yeah. That's kind of awful. Love the soundtrack music. Oh, don't say that. Yeah. Yeah. Although she has done that multiple times, so I'm guessing that's a character trait. Uh-huh. Oh. A school card tournament, eh? Yeah, what about that boy in front of you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Arata. I'll bet he did a better job, too. God, I hate her. Ugh. You might have just fucked up his life. Oh. You don't understand, Chihaya. You don't understand at all. Damn. Man, this is like the Sangatsu bullying arc, but like right from the bat. What the fuck? And she's reaching out. Fucking people. Fuck yeah. Good. Why do you keep being such a dick? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't need you. So, the accent. Hmm. Hmm. Bet he does. I'll bet it's Karata related. And I'll bet this is how she finds out. Bingo. Wow, he's so excited. Yeah. The one thing that is his. And this serves as a perfect way to teach us some of the game. To you. Serious time, eh? Ah, again, eh? Instantly. It's pretty badass. All right. You want to get better, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, the music. As soon as you hear it. Oh, oh, the moment the passion starts. Let's do it again. Mmm. Mm-hmm. So you asked about a goal, right? Bingo. Interesting. Hmm. 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 You have friends? Mom, please. Girlfriend to chat. Aww. Best in the world. Damn. And I'm guessing your own. No preview or anything. That's just the end. Okay. Okay. This was a cool first episode of a show. I'm going to take a minute to organize my thoughts, and then I'll hit you with a slightly more concise discussion. All right? All right. See you in a minute. Okay, so the first thing that struck me kind of right off the bat and just continued to like this impression continued to get deeper as I went through was that there are some surprising similarities between this opening and the opening episode of Hibike Euphonium, which I started just a couple of weeks ago. So let's run through some of those. So we've got our main girl, Kumiko, or in this case Chihaya, who is interested in or has a history with sport, competitive activity. In this case, it's karate. Now there's a significant difference because Kumiko is not initially interested in continuing with her thing, and Chihaya is initially attempting to get a club together, right? So she's trying to continue making it happen. Both of them have a person from their past who was more into it and more serious about the thing than the main character was, and who inspires them to some extent, or is to some extent the cause of their involvement with it. In this case, it's Arata or Wayata? I don't remember. Arata. In Hibike's case, it is of course Reina Kosaka. And then there's also a childhood friend who used to be into the same thing, but is no longer really into the same thing, but will probably end up competing in it anyway, getting dragged in, likely by the main character. In this case, it's Taichi. In that case, it's Soichi. I think that's his name. So that was an immediate interesting impression. And then that made me start thinking about Chihaya as a character. We don't have a lot of information or details about who she is and what she's all about, but just the way that she initially started, like there's a focus in this episode on this idea of dreams and personal dreams. It's the first real thing that she and Arata talk about. She says her dream is for her sister to become the world's top model, something like that. And he sort of admonishes her for that no, a dream should be something about you. You shouldn't be stealing from someone else. And that made me think, like, Chihaya, like Kumiko, we don't know what her dreams are right now. We don't even know if she has them. And I get the feeling that, just from what we have seen, that her desire to be good at karate, which is sort of just implied, like I'm not positive, is a dream that she has somewhat stolen from Arata, despite his berating her for doing the same to her sister. She seems like more of a passive protagonist at this point. That could be totally thrown out the window soon. In this episode, at least, it's Arata who has the dream, who is into the thing, who is active about it, who is goal-driven, and who is the reason that she gets into it. So that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of interesting little bits about characters and how motivated and in what way they are motivated. This opening where we're told about this character through other people talking about her, and then introduced to her doing things that are silly and demonstrate a lack of care of people's opinions of her, sort of just not caring, just trying to be practical about stuff. This is almost Utena-y in terms of like setup and opening. She opens kind of like Utena walking in her prince garb. People think that she's weird because of it, even though they find her really attractive. The main difference is that she doesn't have a bunch of girls fawning over her the way that Utena usually does. Then we get the OP. Not sure what to read into here. Some crazy cool patterns and stuff, and some moments of slapping cards, which I guess are set up for later, when we'll actually see some slapping cards. Pretty neat. Just a general note, I really liked the soundtrack music throughout the episode. I thought it was all really really fitting, and more importantly, was well used. Like it fit the scenes that it was used for. So that's cool. I like this idea of the Muda Bijin, the beauty in vain. It's an interesting concept, and it not only does it sum her up, but it creates like an interesting contrast with her character, how she appears and who she actually is, which implies to us, the viewer, that there's much, much more. There are many layers to this character that we won't know about yet. And then there's this moment where she realizes that he has a boyfriend, and there's clearly some implied potential, like, oh shit, didn't expect that. And, you know, some potential stuff. General production is pretty solid. It looks like a Madhouse show from the time period, and that's a good thing. And then we do this long extended flashback. So the structure of the episode is we're introduced to her as a Karata person who's into that, and then we get some little hints at her life now, all of which hint back toward the past, and then we jump into that past using the train to transition into an extended flashback detailing her introduction to Arata and therefore her introduction to Karuta. We learn that Taichi was not the nicest kid, also that kids are fucking assholes. If we didn't watch Sangatsu and learn that already, kids can be fucking assholes. They can be really cruel and mean and ostracize and bully people for being just slightly different or quiet, and it's cruel and awful. This first episode covers a lot of the same kind of content, although with less depth than the bullying arc in Sangatsu, which I know a lot of people resonate with really strongly. So you see this, and immediately the show is telling you, hey, we're not going to shy away from some more difficult interpersonal topics. We're going to put that front and center, and it's going to be a thing. This is a show about people doing a niche hobby that they're serious and competitive about, aka they are poem otaku. They're weirdos. They're different. They're into different things than the majority. So it seems natural that ostracization could become a part of that. It seems natural and should be interesting to see how it's included and how it's handled. Lots of little hints about character, from the sister who's not as excited or happy about being in the background of those pictures than her little sister is, to Arata's instantly memorizing the delivery route, you know, telling us that there's something cool about his memory, to God, the moment when things get awesome and the hype really begins, and we see his excitement. He's like, "Oh my God, I get to play my favorite game with a real person." Like, how long has it been since he's been able to interact with somebody like this besides his mom? And then there's the moment when, wham, whoosh, crack. Now that is a moment that a lot of thought went into. How are we going to execute this moment to grab people? Because this moment has to serve two purposes. It has to be, for Chihaya, this has to be the moment where she's like, wait, what? And it has to be the same for us. It's like, wait, this isn't just a dorky poem game. This could be badass. Oh shit, this could be badass. And so it has to execute. And the way he's nonchalantly like, oh, I guess I got another one stuck, and then continues to just casually like get up and go and collect his cards each time. Pretty freaking dope. And then she's in it, you know? She's in it. Suddenly this is a competition for her, and she comes with this one little goal. And it reminds me of some classic shonen moments. It reminds me of Gon trying to get Netero to use his other hand, you know? Or to use one hand. Like, yeah. I just want to win once on my terms, on my goal. Pretty dope. So already we've got this game that bridges gaps between people who wouldn't necessarily become friends or get to know each other before. I assume that'll become a major theme. We've got themes of isolation and potentially depression that could get really serious, given how serious they start in the first episode. Ideas about bullying and about potentially like how the love of something, even if you're not respected for it, can carry you through. There's a lot that can be unpacked here and a lot that can get deeper and deeper. And it seems like there's going to be an interesting balance between the competitive aspects of Carta and the interpersonal stuff. And so that's pretty interesting because I like both, and seeing both would be cool. Especially if it can be woven together into like a really nice coherent story. That would be fantastic. Just stellar. So that's what I'm hoping for, and that seems to be what it's going to be. So that's awesome. Great. Nothing better than getting what you're hoping for. Cool. I expect that next episode will probably focus on this middle school Karate tournament that we've been talking up a little bit. Maybe get to see the moment where Chihaya really locks into Karata and is like really into it. We got a little bit in this episode. She's excited about it. She's interested, but she's not in it yet. I think that she needs to really compete for that to happen. So I'm expecting that'll happen in the next episode. I wonder how long we'll keep doing this thing where we're following both timelines. How long it'll take for us to jump to present day, present time, and stick there for the majority of the episodes. Probably just a couple of episodes. Should be mostly to serve as exposition and character setup. Another thing that I want to point out is that it's difficult to drop the audience into a world with years of backstory, as there are here, and make it feel coherent. And I think they did a really exemplary job. I'm not like skilled or talented enough to be able to point out all of the things that went into making it feel fluid and coherent, but it did, and I feel like I should probably mention it because it stood out to me. Other things, I like the character designs. They're pretty cool. Adult or current day Chihaya is pretty darn cute, and I think that there can be some pretty fun comedy coming out of her and Taichi bantering about height and stuff. Should be fun. All in all, I think this was a pretty stellar first episode. And if I had been watching it seasonally or like when it came out, I would probably have continued this show. So that's a good thing. That's what you want to see, right? First episode of show is good. We'll watch more. Good stuff. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Chihayafuru episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week in the next one. If you want to access that next week's video a week early, you can head over to patreon.com/Teeaboo to do that. Drop your likes and comments and stuff. Always appreciated. I read all the comments. Always have. Probably always will. Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. So I'll see you next week for the next episodes of Chihayafuru, and yeah, have a great day. Peace.